Joy was crippled. She couldn't walk. And we just kind of like accepted it, like this was a suffering that, that we just accepted. We offered it up, and, we were just going to offer it up for the rest of our life. She just couldn't walk.
How long had she been that way? Did you marry her and she was in that state, or did she become crippled?
No, she was crippled when I met her. She had fibromyalgia.
Oh,
She had slip disc. She had a broken degenerative disc and a broken tailbone. And Talon's tried to help me with the pronounce it, spinal stenosis. So when I met Joy, she was pretty much bedridden, and
mm,
she
mm,
was a single mom with two kids, and
mm,
I was a single dad with six. And
mm,
both of us were very Catholic, but we didn't believe in divorce. But we found ourselves in a divorce. Divorce happened whether we liked it or not. Our spouses before us wanted a divorce, and that's what was happened to us. And to our dismay, we fought for the marriage, but we lost, and found out later on that it didn't have the components of a sacramental marriage, and that's probably why Satan won, why Satan was able to destroy our first marriages. And when we sought our annulments, it was quite evident that there was something missing in the first marriage, and that was God. And if God was a part of that first marriage, they would have been able to maintain. So that was a very healing factor. But when I met Joy, even though she had this crippling back problem, I never looked at it as a defect. Like I always told her, and I remember I was telling her mom, because her mom was worried, because we met over the phone. We were talking and praying the rosary over the phone, over a webcam. And, Joy's very pretty. And her mom would say, she can't sweep the floor. She can't cook for all these kids. She can't do a lot, and she was always trying to make sure that I understood that Joy was very sick and she couldn't do these things. And I would tell Joy's mom, bless her soul, because she passed. And, no, she didn't pass. She's sick. She's sick. Her dad passed. I'm sorry. But I would tell her mom, I'm not marrying Joy to sweep my floor. I'm not marrying Joy to cook my food. I'm marrying Joy because I love her. And I'll sweep the floor. I'll lift the heavy things. I'm strong like bull, dumb like moose. She's the brains, I'm the brawn. We'll make it work. It really didn't matter to me, because I found the one that God wanted me to be with. We could pray together. And that was the most important thing for me as I, as a Catholic man, is to, have a wife who could pray with me. And so she was crippled. And I remember the day after we did the breakthrough healing workshop, and after it was some time, someone asked us to go to one of those charismatic conferences, and we were Latin traditional, so we were totally uncomfortable. It's like, we don't do that, Nope. But, someone recommended that we go. We really didn't know what it was about. We had just gone through our breakthrough healing workshop. Now, remember, our son was still possessed, so we're still going through the exorcism process. And I remember the music was on, and they were doing praise and worship. And Joy's the organist on our church. So she doesn't like praise and worship. She likes Gregorian chant, very classical music. And she was very annoyed. And I remember the priest saying, I think there's a lot of heaviness in the church. We need another 30 minutes of praise and worship. And you should have seen Joy like, oh, I can't believe it. But there was something about praise and worship. There's something about how the Lord opens up the heart. And I think, with Joy, there was something that happened because she received a breakthrough, and the Lord was able to penetrate her heart. And I remember her lifting her arms in the air. And when she lifted her arms in the air, there was a complete surrender. She was surrendering to the Lord. And the Lord gave her the warning. She experienced the warning. And she was...
Gave her an illumination of
an
conscience,
illumination
you're
of conscience, yes.
right then in the
Right
conference?
then, right in the middle of that charismatic conference, I believe the song that was being played was "Let the Fire Fall." And Jesus brought her through each part of her life and showed her, do you forgive this person? Do you, this person offended you? You offended this person? Do you forgive this person? Do you let go of this? And walked her through. And it was amazing because I was standing right next to her. And it was like she was in a trance with her arms straight up in the air, and she she couldn't do that. Physically, she would not have the strength, number one, to stand for that long, and number two, to keep her arms in the air with her back the way it was. It was just uncanny. And so it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And I remember when the song ended, the priest said, someone's in this room who just got healed from a broken tailbone. And I looked at Joy and I said, it's you. And Joy said, no, it's not me. And I'm like, how many other people in this room have a broken tailbone? It took her 3 days to realize that she received a healing. And so when we do the Breakthrough Healing Workshop, we really, it's to emulate that illumination of conscience, because I think it's really important for us to review our life. And a part of our mission that we feel that the Lord has given us is to prepare his people. We feel that Jesus has asked us to prepare his people to meet him. And we do that in the Breakthrough Healing Workshop.